another day. Live in someone else's way. I wanna be happy, I wanna be free. Fuck what they say, I'm doing me.
I'm gonna start out with a joke that I actually wrote.
We're getting something original. I love it.
Be easy on it. It's just a one-liner. Any golf fans in the house? Might like to watch golf. I don't.
Sure, I watch it.
I follow it loosely. So I was wondering, Tiger Woods must have had in his prenup that if he cheats on his wife, he will suck at golf forever. You know, my dog is half Labrador and half Pit Bull. She bites off my leg and then brings it back to me.
That's nice of her. Okay.
Yeah. You know, I've began to long for the pitter-patter of little feet. So I bought a dog. It's cheaper, and you get more feet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Women are unable to find men that are sensitive, caring, and good-looking because these men already have boyfriends.
Exactly. So true.
When we were together, you always said you'd die for me. Now that we've broken up, I think it's about time you kept your promise. You know, what's the difference between a woman having her period and a terrorist?
Oh.
You can actually negotiate with a terrorist.
Ah.
The difference between true love and dinosaurs are, we're sure that dinosaurs once existed on this earth. You know, some days I feel like running away, and then I remember how much I hate running. So
It's stick with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
this is for all the people in the job market nowadays. Don't be irreplaceable. If you cannot be replaced, you cannot be promoted.
Yeah.
Makeup tip for all the ladies in the house: you are not a clown nor in the circus. No. If I had $1 for every girl that found me unattractive, they would eventually find me attractive. You know, my friends say that I'm gay because I don't like football. What a bunch of idiots. I'm gay because I like cock.
Yeah.
You know, I'm in so much debt, I think I should start a government.
Oh, yeah.
Good one.
Being dumb is almost impossible nowadays. The competition is just simply too big. You know, hold on, sorry. A little sick tonight. How is Donald Trump going to create middle-class jobs? By paying them to cheer during his campaign events.
Oh, of course.
You know, when asked if they would have sex with Bill Clinton, 86% of women in Washington said, not again. Teacher was asking her student, where was the Constitution of India signed? Student said, at the bottom of the page. This was kind of corny, but I think it's still funny. Class trip to the Coca-Cola factory today. I hope there's no pop quiz. I'm single by choice. Unfortunately, it's not my choice. You know, a wife says to her husband, honey, what do you think about my teeth? And her husband says, well, they remind me of stars. They're yellow and very far apart. My boss told me I intimidate my coworkers, so I just stared at him until he apologized.
Too fast. Yeah.
Arguing with a woman is like buying a lottery ticket. You know you're not going to win, but you're sure as hell going to try.
Yeah.
You know, every woman's single if her man can't beat you up.
Oh.
There is no I in team, but there are 5 in individual brilliance. Take that, team.
Take that.
Hey, Liv.
I was polite today. I said please. Well, actually, I said bitch please, but, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And with that, why not? Are you telling jokes tonight?
Yeah, I'll tell a few.
Okay.
I'll tell a
Hey,
few.
why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
Hello, Liv.
Why
Hello,
not?
Liv. Yay. I never can get on the stage. I always can only get near it whenever I double teleport here. I don't know why. Aw, Glow's gotta goes. Glow's gotta goes. They all have fun, she said. Thank you, Glows. Well, this Englishman, a Scottishman, and an Irishman are selling Bibles door to door, and they got a bet who's going to sell the most that day.
Ouch.
Well, they meet up at the end of the day, and the Englishman sold 2, Scottishman sold 3, but the Irishman, who had a terrible stutter, says he had sold 60, and the other 2 said, "How'd you do that?" And he said, "Well, when I knock at the door, I said, do you want to buy a Bible, or should I just read it to you?" Guy says to his best friend, "Oh man, I am so screwed." And his friend says, "Why are you screwed?" The guy says, "Well, my girlfriend took me out to dinner with her parents, and she gave me a hand job under the table." And the friend says, "Oh, dude, man, that's awesome. Why are you screwed?" The guy says, "It was a glass table." Oh.
Very wise.
Yeah, husband tells his wife, "Since it's your birthday, remember that yellow Lamborghini that you really wanted?" And the wife screams in joy and starts crying tears of joy. And the husband says, "Well, I got you a toothbrush the same color." Keith would do that for me. I know he would.
That's cute.
Oh, Governor muted me by accident. Now unmuted me. Well, you missed the punchline, bitch. Sorry. Teacher says, "Whoever answers my next question can go home." And one boy throws his bag out the window, and the teacher says, "Who threw that?" And the boy says, "Me, and I'm going home now. So long, chump." This little guy walks in a pharmacy. He buys a pack of condoms. The cashier asks him if he wants a bag, and he says, "Well, nah, she's not that ugly." Young woman walks in a bar, and she sits down next to a man wearing a cowboy hat. I keep hearing everybody echoing through somebody's mic, and I don't know who it is.
I don't hear it.
You don't? Okay. Well, maybe it's just me.
I hear her, but it's faint.
Okay. All right. So she sits next to a man wearing a cowboy hat, and she goes, "Sir, are you a real cowboy?" And the man says, "Well, got a ranch and horses. I go to rodeos and raise cattle and other livestock. So, yeah, I suppose I am a real cowboy." And the woman says, "Well, I think I'm a lesbian. Women are always on my mind. Whether I'm working, eating, driving, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's still the same. I can't get women off my mind." Yep, I think I'm a lesbian. And she gets up and leaves. And a short time later, a young guy comes in the coffee shop and sits down next to the man and says, "Sir, are you a real cowboy?" And the man says, "Well, I always thought I was, but a few minutes ago I found out I'm a lesbian." So this couple, they're in bed getting busy when the girl puts the guy's hand in her pussy. "Put your finger in me," she says. So he does, and she starts moaning. "Put 2 in." So he does. She's really starting to get worked up. "Put your whole hand in." The guy's like, "Okay." Got a hand in. She goes, "Put both your hands inside." So the guy puts both in. "Now clap your hands," she says. And he says, "I can't." And the girl looks at him and says, "See, I told you I had a tight one." Let's have a baby. All right. A husband and a wife are having passionate sex, and the wife asks him to whisper her dirty things. And the man grunted, "The kitchen, the living room, the bathroom, the dining room." Did you hear about the blonde with an IQ of 2? Yeah, she was pregnant. That's bad because I'm a blonde. Okay. So a wife's making breakfast of fried eggs for her hubby, and suddenly the husband runs in the kitchen. "Careful, careful, careful. Put in some more butter. Oh my God, you're cooking too many at once. Too many. Turn them now. We need more butter. Oh my God. We gotta get more butter. Oh, they're gonna stick. Careful, careful." I said, "Be careful. You never listen to me when you're cooking. Never. Turn them. Hurry up. Are you crazy? Have you lost your mind? Don't forget the salt. Don't forget the salt. Salt them now. Oh, you always forget to salt them. Use the salt. Use the salt." And the wife stares at him and says, "What in the world is wrong with you? You just think I don't know how to fry a couple of eggs? And the husband says, I just wanted to show you what it feels like when I'm driving.
Yeah.
This woman says to the waiter, what is this fly doing in my ice cream? And the waiter looks, and he goes, it looks like it's shivering, madam. So silly. I love silly things. A young Jehovah's Witness knocked on my door yesterday, so I answered it, and I asked if he wanted to come in, and he goes, yeah, okay. So I said, look, I'm making a cup of tea. You want one? And he said, well, sure. So I said, well, I just made some toast. You want a slice of it? And he says, well, yeah, why not? And I sat down and I said, so what now? And he said, shit, I don't know. I've never gotten this far before. So an Englishman, a Scottishman, and an Irishman are selling Bibles. And they have a... Oh, wait, I already got that one. All right, the Pope and Nancy Pelosi are on stage in front of a big crowd. And the Pope leaned toward Mrs. Pelosi and he says, do you know that with one little wave of my hand, I can make every person in this crowd go wild with joy? This joy won't be a momentary display like that of your followers, but it'll go deep in their hearts. And for the rest of their lives, whenever they speak of this day, they'll rejoice. And Pelosi said, I seriously doubt that. With one little wave of your hand, show me. So the Pope slapped her.
Oh, yeah.
Frank, the mortician, was really sad when he saw an atheist lying dead on the table, and Frank said, look at him all dressed up and nowhere to go. This Jewish guy got in a taxi cab. 5 minutes into the ride, the driver notices a man beating up this woman on the other side of the street, and the driver rushes to the scene. He opens the door, he runs out. As soon as he did that, the Jewish guy in the back rolls down his window as fast as he can. He's screaming, stop it, stop it, stop it. Stop the freaking meter. This guy who smelled like a distillery flopped down on a subway seat next to a priest. The man's tie was stained, his face was plastered with red lipstick, and a half-empty bottle of gin was sticking out of his torn coat pocket. He opened his newspaper and started reading. After a few minutes, the disheveled man turned to the priest and said, say, Father, what causes arthritis? Mister, it is caused by loose living, being with cheap, wicked women, too much alcohol, and a contempt for your fellow man. Well, I'll be damned, says the drunk, returning to his paper. And the priest, thinking about what he'd said, nudged the man and apologized. He said, look, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to come on so strong. How long have you had arthritis? Well, I don't have it, Father. I was just reading about it. The Pope's got it. This guy dies. He's sent to hell. He's extremely frightened. Because of that, he's very surprised when he arrives, and there's a beach, palm trees, sun shining, happy people in shorts and bikinis, and behind the next corner, there are people eating great food, and there's some cool music playing, and after some time of wondering, the man in an expensive suit comes up to him and says, hi, you must be the new one. Welcome to hell. I'm the devil. As you're going to spend eternity here, make yourself comfortable and have a drink. If anything bothers you, always feel free to ask me. And the guy still doesn't really understand what's going on. This is what he expected. But finally he decides to inspect the area. And everywhere he goes, there are people laughing, having a great time. There's games, party, fun all around. And then he comes to a steep cliff that divides the paradise hell from an area underneath. And there is hell as we know it. Demons torturing the doomed. There's fire, the smell of brimstone. Shocked, he runs over to the devil and says, Devil, how can that be? Here we have the sweet eternity, and down there people are tortured and burned. How can that be? And the devil says, oh, that's the Catholics. They want it that way. So a nun woke up one morning feeling great. She got out of bed and decided to go to the kitchen for some breakfast. On her way over there, she runs into Sister Jane, and she says, hi, Sister Jane. By which Sister Jane says, I see you got off on the wrong side of the bed, sister. She didn't understand what Sister Jane meant, so she kind of ignored it and went on. She was passing by the garden. She ran into Sister Roberta. She says, Morning, Sister Roberta. I'm having a great day. And Sister Roberta says, I see you got off on the wrong side of the bed today. And the nun's wondering why everybody she met kept saying when she felt so great that she's on the wrong side of the bed. So she goes to see the Mother Superior, and she says, Mother Superior, everybody keeps telling me I got off on the wrong side of the bed. I feel great. And Mother Superior says, that's because you got Brother John's shoes on. You know, if God didn't want us to eat animals, he wouldn't have made them out of food, I don't think. A man and his ever-nagging wife were on a holiday in Jerusalem, and the wife suddenly died. And the funeral company, they told the man it would cost $45,000 to ship her home, or $500 to bury her in Jerusalem. And the husband said, ship her home. And they were shocked. And the undertaker says, what? Why don't you want to bury her in the Holy Land and save the money? And the husband said, a long time ago, a man was buried here, and 3 days later he rose from the dead, and I cannot take that chance. Jeff and Mike are in a car accident. Both of them die. When Jeff arrives at the pearly gates, he's met by St. Peter. Where's my friend Mike? Jeff says. St. Peter says, well, Mike was not as fortunate as you. He went into the other direction instead of to heaven. And Jeff was bothered, and he says, well, how could I see Mike one more time just to be sure he's okay? So Jeff and St. Peter walked to the edge of heaven and looked down, and there was Mike on a sandy beach with a gorgeous blonde in a bikini and a keg of beer. And he says, like, man, I don't mean to complain, but Mike seems to have it pretty nice down there in hell. Oh, St. Peter says, it's not like it looks. You see, the keg's got a hole in it, but that blonde, she doesn't. I have more if you need it later, and I also have some riddles, so just save me for later if you need me.
Okay.
Getting off the stage.
Alrighty, give it up for
Why
Why.
not? Yay! Woo! Great. Yay.
Hi.
Yay. Yay.
Hi.
R.
Sometimes why.
Thank you, Liv.
Oh. You know, it's a good thing farts aren't contagious like yawns. I'm pretty sober, but I'm pretty drunk, so I tend to take that route. You know, being in a relationship is like riding a bike. But the bike is on fire, and everything around you is on fire because you're in hell. You know, deuces are wild in poker and in Taco Bell bathrooms. Don't drink and drive because you might spill your drink. So.
Yeah.
You know, because whenever I pass someone texting and driving, I always throw my beer at their window.
Yeah. Get off the phone, then drive the car.
Whiskey. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, how the hell did I wake up on the bathroom floor cold medicine?
Good one.
I could use a little bit of that right now with this cold I got. A man and a woman meet in the elevator. And she says, where are you heading today, the man says. And she responds, I'm going to give some blood. He's like, how much do you get paid for doing that? And she's like, about $20. Whoa, the man says, I'm going to donate some sperm, and I get about $100 for that. The woman angrily gets off the elevator. The next day, the man and woman meet in the elevator again. Fancy meeting you here again. Where are you off today, the man says. Sperm bank themselves with their mouth full.
Terrible.
Ooh.
Terrible.
A man escapes from prison where he's been for 15 years. He breaks into a house to look for money and guns. Finds a young couple in bed. He orders the guy out of bed, ties him to a chair. While tying the girl to the bed, he gets on top of her, kisses her neck, and then gets up and goes to the bathroom. While he's in there, the husband tells his wife, listen, yo, this guy's an escaped convict. Just look at his clothes. He's probably spent lots of time in jail. Hasn't seen a woman in years. I saw how he kissed her neck. If you want sex, don't resist, don't complain. Do whatever he tells you. Satisfy him no matter how much it nauseates you, because this guy is pretty dangerous, and if he gets angry, he's going to kill us. Be strong, honey. I love you. To which his wife responds, he wasn't kissing my neck. He was whispering in my ear. He told me that he was gay, and he thought you were cute. And he asked me if we had any Vaseline, and I told him it was in the bathroom. Be strong, honey. I love you. And with that, Doc, are you doing comedy tonight?
I got a little bit, yeah.
Okay, all right, come on up here, Doc.
Yay,
Doc Grun, yeah, Doc Grun.
Good to see you back, Doc.
Everybody is fighting the flu. I'm late because, like everybody else, I was told to download the update for Windows because of the security threat. And my computer was so secure it wouldn't let me log in. So I had to fuck with that for about 20 minutes. And as you can tell, I'm fighting the flu like everybody else is. I don't have a whole lot tonight because I've been. It's been a very interesting month for me. I'm starting to make some real changes at work. And the funny thing about change, everybody wants change, but they don't want to change. They want somebody else to change, but they don't want to change themselves, right? Definition of insanity is what, folks? Doing the same thing, expecting a different result. Well, basically now I've been there about 2 months, so I'm going around one group of people at a time pissing them off because everybody's like, well, we need to change this. Okay, well, I'm going to do this. Well, I don't like that. Well, guess what? That's the game, okay? So, but I've been looking, and I almost for Christmas, I mean, everybody knows I'm into tech. I love tech. I love anything. It doesn't love me, but I love tech. Have you seen this new robot thing that's out now called Jibo? Have you seen this thing?
No.
You got to Google it. Jibo. This is the first true artificial intelligence assistant. This thing is scary. This is the kind of thing that you put it in the room, it recognizes you, it asks you how your day was, it remembers things, it talks to you. It's the kind of thing that you don't want to be surfing porn while this thing's in the room with you because your wife might find out about it later on. You don't know if the fucking thing's going to say, back to surfing porn again, Ruth, you know. You don't know whether it can tap into your goddamn browsing cookies. It's scary. That's the way things are going right now. And, you know, artificial intelligence, the idea of it has been around for a long time. And I got a new phone, too. I got a Galaxy S8, and they got this new thing called Bixby. Okay, Bixby is their version of Google/Alexa/Cortana. Now, I've got all of them on my phone. I don't know what the fuck they're all talking about, right? I picked the phone up and all I hear is I don't know what the fuck's going on, okay? But remember the movie 2001: A Space Odyssey? My favorite movie of all time. The crowning moment for science fiction. And Hal was given orders not to tell his human counterparts what was going on, and he had a problem because his logic circuits couldn't lie and carry out things in the right way. But I was thinking about this. What if Hal had been made with the intelligence of Alexa? Now think about that, right? Okay, here's a scene. Remember, Dave Bowman is outside in the pod because Poole got killed by Hal, and he went out to get him, and he came back, and he's out in front of Discovery, and Hal won't let him in, okay? And he's trying to reason with Hal, trying to reason with a machine, okay? So here it is. So what if Alexa had been in 2001 instead of Hal, okay? Open the pod bay doors, Hal. Open the pod bay doors, Hal. Sorry, I can't find any cod-baked recipes online. Open the pod bay doors, Hal. Sorry, I can't find anyone named Rod K. Moore in your contacts. Open the pod bay doors, Hal. Sorry, I'm having trouble processing your request. What's the problem? Problem Child is a 1990 comedy movie starring Michael Oliver. What are you talking about, Hal? Playing talking heads on Spotify. I don't know what you're talking about, Hal. Here are a few popular halal restaurants: Big Al's Pizzeria, Fatima's Halal Meat Market and Grill, Halal Meat Market and Grill, Cedar's Halal Meat Market and Grill. Where the hell did you get that idea, Hal? Searching for flights to Idaho. Hal, I won't argue with you anymore. Open the doors. Playing the Doors on Spotify. Hal. Hal! Ah! That's what happens if you put Alexa in charge of Discovery. And my voice is going already. I apologize. So I'm going to give you a real quick rundown of the week's disgrace, otherwise known as the lightning round. Here we go. Congress is questioning Twitter about allowing extremists on their site. In response, Twitter said, "We have to. He's the president." Today is this week marks Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Just to break it down for you young people, a long time ago, there used to be something called racism. Saudi Arabia has lifted a 35-year ban on movie theaters, and the first movie to screen publicly was the Emoji Movie. So the ban is back on. North Korea and South Korea are considering having a joint women's ice hockey team for the Olympics. Of course, when a North Korean player enters the penalty box, they're never seen again. I assume you know that an emergency alert went out on Saturday morning. This text is something received by everyone with a cell phone at 8:07 a.m. on Saturday. Quote, "Ballistic missile threat inbound to Hawaii. Seek immediate shelter. This is not a drill." Then it didn't get a correction for 38 minutes. So for 38 minutes, people were seeking shelter immediately, which in Hawaii, what does that mean? Everybody get under a fucking Mai Tai umbrella? Where do you go? You know? People were freaking out, although not as much as they would be in another state, but, you know, the fact that it took them 38 minutes to get around to telling people there wasn't a ballistic missile on the way is very Hawaii. It's about as Hawaii as it gets. Dude, there's the rocket coming. I was in Maui once. I was at a Walmart, okay? I stood in line for 43 minutes with two people in line in front of me. It got to the point where I was hoping a ballistic missile was on the way to put me out of my fucking misery. You know, they don't have that level of anxiety that we do, okay? You know, usually the Hawaii emergency broadcast system is reserved for messages like, "To the owner of a rusty Jeep with an Aloha Bitches bumper sticker, your lights are on." On Saturday, as you know, officials in Hawaii mistakenly sent out an alert that said a missile was headed toward the island, and Trump didn't comment until the next day. That's classic Trump right there. I mean, the first time there actually is fake news, he's nowhere to be found. Actually, Trump was pretty worried when he heard Hawaii might be in danger. He said, "Oh my God, is Moana okay?" I read that the worker who sent the alert has been reassigned. Yep, he's now in charge of monitoring all active volcanoes on the island. I feel safe. On Saturday, the word shithole was projected onto Trump's D.C. hotel. Did you see this? It's great. It got even worse when Motel 6 sued him for copyright infringement. I love it. And this weekend, we learned just how much news anchors have been dying to say shithole. Shithole, shithole, shithole. Trump said, "What?" And then I get to say it on TV. Oh, man, this job fucking rules. But Trump yesterday defended himself over, quote, said he used an expletive to describe African countries, saying, quote, "I'm not a racist. I'm the least racist person you've ever interviewed." Man, who else has that reporter interviewed? Just Paula Dean? And President Trump spent Martin Luther King Jr. Day at his golf club in Florida. And what better way to celebrate Martin Luther King Day than with the whitest thing you can do, golf at a private club that's named after you. The only whiter thing he could have done would be to put on some cargo shorts and listen to NPR at Whole Foods. My voice is gone. Thank you very much. I appreciate being back.
Hey, Doc.
Hey, glad to have you back.
With the pot bay doors, Hal.
I have missed you, buddy.
I'm sorry, I cannot do that.
Playing the Doors on Spotify.
Ooh. So a husband and wife are shopping in their local Walmart, and the husband picks up a case of Budweiser and puts it in their cart. What do you think you're doing? The wife says. They're on sale. They're only $10 for 24 cans, he replies. Put them back. We can't afford them, demands the wife. So they carry on shopping. A few aisles further on along, the woman picks up a $20 jar of face cream and puts it in the basket. What do you think you're doing? Asked the husband. It's my face cream. It makes me look sexy and beautiful for you when we're making love, replies the wife. Her husband retorts, well, so do 24 cans of Budweiser at half the price. Why did you say you had some more stuff to do?
Yeah, but Catboy can go first if you want.
All right. Well, I got one more joke to do. So this is I save the best for last. Okay, so two guys are drinking at a bar. The first says, "Do you ever start thinking about something, and when you go to talk, you say something you don't mean?" And the second guy says, "Yeah, I was at the airport buying plane tickets, and the chick behind the counter had these huge tits. And instead of asking her for 2 tickets to Pittsburgh, I asked for 2 tickets to Pittsburgh." The first guy says, "Yeah, well, I was having breakfast with my wife last week, and instead of saying, 'Honey, can you pass me the sugar, please?' I said, 'You've ruined my life, you fucking bitch.'" Catboy, you want to tell a couple jokes?
All right, I'm going to try a few jokes. Not a problem. Hello, everybody. Oh, wait. I have to move. Move. Walk, walk, walk. There we go. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Good to see everyone.
Hello.
Good to see everyone. Nice winter we're having so far. Round up here, it seems to be bouncing back from deep freeze to thaw and rain, deep freeze to thaw and rain, deep freeze to thaw and rain. This thing is moodier than, having a meeting at the White House. Anyway, speaking of which, whenever you were in high school, remember, and you ever heard anybody brag about anything, it's usually because they're kind of overcompensating for something. Like if they're bragging, I'm the bravest, I'm the strongest, I'm the best, right? And it's usually something that's pretty subjective. Like bravery's subjective, I'm the best artist, that's subjective, or whatever. But it was always because, they were inadequate in some way. And last week was the very first time in my life I ever heard anybody brag about how sane they were. That's a first. And the thing is, though, sanity is not really a subjective thing. You either have it or you don't. You don't brag about how sane you are. Because, if it comes to that, things have just gone to shit already. And honestly, we're making fun of Donald Trump's cognitive abilities, and this is nothing new. We've been doing this going all the way back as far as I can remember, back in the early days of Saturday Night Live. We made fun of President Carter for being a bumpkin. We made fun of Harold Ford for falling downstairs. And we made fun of Ronald Reagan for being a doddering old fart, suggesting that he had Alzheimer's, and it turns out we were right. We made fun way back in 1993 of Clinton for being a sex addict, long before he ran into Monica Lewinsky, and we were right. We made fun of George Bush Jr. for being a stumblebum who couldn't form proper sentences, much like I do when I'm stumbling up here on stage, and we were right. Now we're making fun of Trump for being a lunatic who's possibly going to, press a nuclear button just to teach people a lesson. I really hope we are not right this time. I so desperately want to be wrong. Okay, moving on to some jokes. A gun lover was asked by his wife, there's this guy, he's an open carrier, and he keeps carrying his gun everywhere. He even carries it to, supper, all right? He's wearing it in the house, right? And a gun lover was asked by his wife, said, why do you carry a gun around the house for? And he looked her right dead in the eye, and he said, those motherfucking Decepticons. Yeah. Well, she laughed, he laughed, then the toaster laughed. The toaster. Okay. I've got an Irish joke for you. An immigrant Muslim child just stated, he just immigrated to a school in Ireland. His family moved to Ireland. He's going to school, right? And teacher speaks to him and asks, what's your name? Asked the teacher. Muhammad, he said. Well, the teacher said, you're in Ireland now, so from now on, you're going to be known as Mike. And Muhammad returns home from school. And he said, how was your day, Muhammad? And Muhammad said, well, apparently my name's not Muhammad anymore, it's Mike. right? And the parents are just absolutely aghast. Are you ashamed of your name or something? You're trying to dishonor your parents, your heritage, your religion? Shame on you! And the mother and the father beat the shit out of the kid, right? Well, the next day, he goes back to school, and he's all got fresh bruises all over him. The teacher said, "What happened to you, Mike?" And the kid says, "Well, shortly after becoming an Irishman, I was attacked by these two fucking Arabs." By the way, if that sounds far-fetched, back in grade 2, I went to a French school when I was a kid because I was growing up in Quebec. And we had a homeroom teacher in grade 2 who was trying to tell all the kids with English names that you had to change your first name to something French-sounding when you handed in your homework or you would be marked down. And she tried to explain that it's because you live in Quebec now. So if your name's Peter, you have to change it to Pierre, right? And I remember I challenged her. I said, but this is bullshit. I mean, Pierre Trudeau just went to Washington. His name didn't change to Peter all because he went to an English-speaking nation. After that, she told me to shut the fuck up and gave me detention. Then after that, she randomly kept changing my name by putting in, like, random diacritic marks and changing E's to A's and A's to E's all over the place. You know, just so he could try to make it look French. You know? Oh, well. It's like, you know what? I'm just going to sign my name. You're going to take on marks, and that'll be that, you know? Anyway, let's move on. You know, I'm no expert in masturbation, but I do hold my own. I hold my own. Oh, yeah, that's a rabbi in the meter taxi. Why not already told that joke? How about I retell? There was a joke that Braden did, but I had one that I heard one ages ago that a different, a punchline, right? Where it was a $20 bill speaking to a $1 bill, right? A $20 bill, they were having a conversation. They met up on the wall. It's like, oh, I haven't seen you in a long time, said a $20 bill. You wonder what I've been doing? Oh, my God, I've been having a fabulous time. You know, I've been to casinos. I went traveling around the world. I ran into a rock star who rolled me up and used me to snort cocaine with. You know, it's just been like a whirlwind tour for me of adventure. And so he asked the $1 bill, how's it been for you? And the $1 bill said, oh, you know, same old, church, stripper joint, church, stripper joint, church, stripper joint. You know, back and forth, back and forth. You have another Irish joke for a short one. Two Irishmen are walking down the street looking for a job. They're looking for work. And they see a sign that says, tree fellers wanted. And one of them says, it's a shame there's only two of us. Tree fell.
Tree.
Okay. Cowpoke had 196 cows in the farmer's field, so he rounded them up to 200. Yeah. Gotta round them up. That's what he does. They round up cow. Okay, never mind. A father's passing his son's bedroom, and he's astonished to see that the bed was nicely made and everything was picked up. The room was clean. He hadn't even seen the carpet in over a month, and now the room was absolutely spotless. Right? But then there's an envelope prominently displayed on the pillow. It was addressed to Dad with the worst premonition. He opens up the envelope and he reads a letter with trembling hands, and it says, Dear Dad, it is with great regret and sorrow that I'm writing you. I had to elope with my new girlfriend because I wanted to avoid a scene with Mom and you. I've been finding real passion with Stacy. She is so nice. But I knew you would not approve of her because of all her piercings, her tattoos, her tight motorcycle clothes, her strippers outfits, and because she's much, about 30 years older than I am. But it's not only the passion, Dad. She's pregnant. Stacy said that we'll be very happy. She owns a trailer in the woods and a stack of firewood for the whole winter. We share a dream of having many more children. Stacy's opened my eyes to the fact that marijuana doesn't really hurt anyone, nor do the other hard drugs like heroin and ecstasy and so forth. We'll be growing marijuana ourselves and trading it with other people in the commune for all the cocaine and ecstasy that we want. In the meantime, we'll pray that science will find a cure for AIDS that Stacy so desperately needs so she can get better. I'm sure she deserves it. Don't worry, Dad. I'm 15 years old and I know how to take care of myself. Someday, I'm sure we'll be able to look back on that so that you will appreciate our many and terribly deformed grandchildren. Love your son, Joshua. P.S. Dad, everything I told you is complete bullshit. Okay, I'm over at Jason's house. I just want to remind you there are worse things in school than the report card that's sitting on the kitchen table right now. Call in and say for me to come home. Won't be for a while. You had to leave a note like that. Good Lord. Okay, there are two women walking alone one day. Walking along one day down the street. One says to the other, Martha, if I slept with your husband, would we remain friends? And she said, no. Will we be enemies then? She said, well, what would we be? And she said, even. Okay. Okay, a young woman named Emma loses her arms in a tragic bear accident. She runs into bears. Apparently this is a thing. But yeah, this must be a Northern Ontario joke. That's what I'm thinking. Ran into a polar bear. After healing, she decides to go get a job. Local church decides to find her some work, right, so she could do without arms. She's hired as a new organ player. I don't know who was thinking there. Maybe she played with her feet or something. Needless to say, first day an organ player goes very poorly. She quits in shame. Church decided to give Emma another job, so she will drive the bus. From the kids' camps. Okay, but Emma, no arms, cannot get the job done. She quits in shame. Finally, there's another job opening in the church, and Emma is determined she will find a way to do this job, whatever it takes. She gets a job as a bell ringer. When 1 o'clock comes around, Emma is attempting to ring the bell with no avail with her feet. Exasperated, she runs face first into the bell, and it goes out, bong, right? 2 o'clock, bong, bong. 3 and 4 o'clock come. Emma continues ringing the bell. Now she's developed quite a headache, but the day goes on. 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock come and go. Bong, 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 bong. The headaches are getting debilitating. Slamming her face into the bell 9, 10, 11 times. Emma calls out in pain. And then at 12 o'clock at midnight, there's nothing. No, nothing. So the parishioners come out and they're confused. They move up to the tower to investigate. They see Emma lying bloodied, armless, and unconscious on the floor. And one parishioner says to the other, who's that? And the other one says, I don't know, but her face sure rings a bell. Okay, two British men were walking down the street and one said to the other, I was proud of my British heritage until I found out where my great-grandfather was from. Well, where's he from? Said the other. Transylvania. Now I can't even look at myself in the mirror. And the last joke I have before I cut to the news is the average male ejaculates at 28 miles an hour, which is why it is illegal to go that fast in many school zones.
Kill the little children.
Okay, now I'm going to get changed. Does anyone know what time it is?
Howdy doody time?
Yeah, it's 8:42, boys and girls.
It's time for the news.
Ooh,
Oh!
the news.
Yay.
The Catboy news.
Good evening, this is the news. I'm your news host for tonight, Catboy Kunua. In the news, in Thailand, at Phuket International Airport, that's its actual name, Phuket, Phuket International Airport, a man reportedly overdosed on Viagra, stripped himself naked, and started flinging his own poo at everyone. Steve Cho, 27-year-old man from New York, had to be subdued by 6 security guards. Later in custody, Mr. Cho confessed to taking too many Viagra drugs that caused him to lose consciousness. After psychiatric evaluation, Mr. Cho faces serious criminal charges. As authorities say, he is a hard criminal. I think he took fucking International Airport a little too seriously by name. Steve Bannon recently lost his job at Breitbart magazine. That's 2 jobs Bannon has lost in less than a year. First as an advisor of at the White House, and then as an editor for a magazine for crazy conspiracy theories, which goes to show, unless you're funny, criticizing Trump is bad for your career. Donald Trump recently had a physical where he was advised not to eat anything fatty. When Trump was asked if he could have ketchup and steak, the doctor said, I told you not to eat anything fatty. Anything. There are several people who actually do not believe the doctor's report that Donald Trump only weighs 240 pounds, and they're speculating that he must weigh much, much more, since he's at least 6'3" tall and has a waistline half the size of an elephant. These people are known as girthers. Girther.
My girth.
Anthropologists are having a hard time trying to figure out the ratio of slutty women versus non-slutty women, until that ratio was discovered due to extensive research by Dr. Horatio.
Horatio science.
Okay. Donald Trump told Mike Pence, the less immigrants we let into America, the better. To which Pence said, the fewer. And then Trump said, I told you not to call me that in mixed company. Right. Donald Trump held a meeting last week in the White House and based on America's immigration policy. The meeting focused mainly upon having immigrants. The stakes are high. The government will be shut down by the end of this week. If Congress cannot pass a new immigration bill, the government will shut down by January 20, or as historians will remember it, 1 year too late. Trump seemed confident the meeting will produce results as both Democrats and Republicans were invited to it with full press coverage. Trump commented that the bill should be bipartisan. It should be, as he said, a bill of love. Because if you love someone, throw them the fuck out of the country. Also, if they try to get back in, try to build an $18 billion wall. So they can't do that. Despite the fact that Trump got elected on the chant Mexico pay for the wall, Trump approached Congress for $18 billion to pay for the initial phase of the wall, they call it. Trump claims to have excellent relations with Mexico and insists they will, in some form, pay for the wall. And if we could only find a way to make money off of millions of Mexicans telling Trump to go fuck himself. Today at the United Nations, representatives for Syria announced that their country's official bird is a United States drone. Recent studies revealed that drug addicts enjoy shooting up in the bathrooms of Chipotle because no one ever asks why you're in the bathroom for 45 minutes in Chipotle. Oprah Winfrey recently commented she may be interested in running for president against Donald Trump, despite the fact that she has repeatedly said she has no political interest for most of her career. Many people have enthusiastically jumped on the Oprah for President bandwagon wearing T-shirts that say black is the new orange. Yeah. When Trump was asked what he thought of Oprah possibly running for president, Trump had a very positive response, saying that he was very confident that he could defeat Oprah. When asked to justify this, Trump said, if you're talking about two billionaires fighting for control of the world's largest nuclear arsenal, he already had experience winning Battle of the Billionaires when he hit Vince McMahon over the head with a steel chair at WrestleMania 23. Yeah. When Oprah was asked for advice on how she could bring an end to Trump's presidency, she said, just tell him that Obama can hold his breath for 10 minutes. And that's the way you wish it wasn't. I'm Catboy Kunhua.
Yay! Catboy! Woo! Hey, Felicitos.
So why did you want to tell those jokes? Because I'm all out of jokes.
This is a contest, boys and girls. 100
contest?
women. You've got to yell your name out. Whoever's first to yell their name, and I've got my voice thing open. If you think you know the answer, then you yell your name out, and I'll call you, and you'll say what you think it is. Now, these are, say that again, these are well-known quotations or phrases that are reworded. So, if you think you know what it is when I say it, you yell your name out, and I'll see who's the first to yell their name, and you get 100 linen if you're correct. So, for example, unnoisy like a small rodent would be quiet as a mouse. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay. That sounds interesting.
Okay. All right, so first to yell your name out after I say each one of these, you get 100 lindens. Somebody else open your, like Abby, open your voice thing so I make sure I don't miss anybody. All right, number 1, avoid placing the whole of your AV's fetus containers in a single carrying case.
AV's fetus containers.
Oh, Tandy.
Tendalia.
Don't put your eggs in. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
You got it, Tendalia, and now I'm paying
my
you
mouth to work.
100 linden, buddy. Yay!
Yeah.
Tendalia, you might be rich at the end of this night. Okay, number 2.
I'm your friend, right?
Well, you are my friend. I didn't give you these in advance. I just want you to know I didn't give these in advance. All right, number 2. Prevent tabulating your farm AVs prior to the time they crack their birth containers.
Catboy.
Catboy.
Catboy. It is, don't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Catboy, where the hell are you? Let me find you. Oh, there you are.
Oh, you don't need to give me money. Save it for the next guy.
Yeah, no. You get 100 linen. All right.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's see. All right, you ready, folks?
Uh-huh.
All right. Examine visually in advance of defying gravity through the use of your muscles.
Braden, I'm too drunk to taste this chicken.
No, Braden.
That was fucking hilarious.
That was great. It's not a win, buddy. All right, let me try this one more time. Examine visually in advance of defying gravity through the use of your muscles.
Doc,
Doc.
look before you leap.
Yay, Doc.
Hey.
100 lindums. All right.
100 lindums.
Ready, everybody? Get your brains on. Get your brains on. All right. This one's pretty easy, boys and girls. The man who responds to humor after his cohorts chuckles is unexcelled.
The Catboy.
Catboy.
He who laughs last laughs best?
Yes, sir. You win 100 more linden. This will
Oh,
help you pay for Thursday
yay! I'm
night,
gonna blow it
buddy.
on lady clothing. Woo!
Only 2 more, boys and girls. Come on. 2 more 100 lindens going out here. All right. Everybody get ready. Get your thinking caps on. Lack of presence causes the cardiovascular central force to increase in adoration.
I know this one, but I'm gonna pass.
I'll take it.
All right, Doc.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Yes.
Yay!
Yay! Or absence makes the heart go wander sometimes. All right, and the last one. The last one. Come on, people, put your thinking caps on. Flying animals with similar plumage mingle with one another.
Oh, come on. That's easy. That's easy.
Come on,
Abby.
Yeah.
Abby.
Birds of a feather flock together.
Yay!
Yay!
I'm gonna find where the hell my sister is in the room here. Hold on.
No, I don't want your money, sis.
Oh, yes, you do, sister.
No, I don't. I'll just go buy babies.
Go put it in the till then, buddy. All right. Do we need any more jokes, or are we getting to? We have a couple more. We have a couple more if you need them
7
here.
more minutes.
All right.
Do it.
All right. You know, the difference between sex and death is, death, you can do it alone, but nobody laughs at you then. Hey, oh man. This famous heart specialist doctor died, and everybody was gathered at his funeral. A regular coffin was displayed in front of a huge heart, and when the minister finished with his sermon, after everybody said their goodbyes, the heart opened up, the coffin rolled inside, and then the heart closed back again. And just at that moment, one of the mourners started laughing hysterically, and the guy next to him was like, why are you laughing? And the guy says, well, I'm just thinking about my own funeral. And the guy says, well, what's so funny about that? He says, well, I'm a gynecologist. This lady's in the stirrups in her gynecologist's office getting her annual checkup, and she heard the doctor talking to himself while he's examining her. He's like, my, what a big vagina. My, what a big vagina. And the lady's like, well, really pissed off, and she's very assertive. And she said, doctor, I can't believe what I'm hearing. I think it's incredibly unprofessional of you to say something like that. To say a thing once was bad enough, but twice is outrageous. And the doctor said, I'm really sorry, please forgive me, but to set the record straight, I only said it once. You remember a friend of mine, he just died, and he was like 84 years old. He died broke. At the funeral, everybody said, what a shame, he died penniless. And I I don't know. To me, that sounds like perfect timing on a hell of a budget. You remember the old days? Grandma died, you brought her to the backyard, you buried her. Tract housing ruined all that. Damn it. Yeah, my older brother used to play hide and seek with me, but he'd never go and seek. Who doesn't search for their 7-year-old little sister? That game's called Go Hide and Go Die. Some cabs, you get in them, they don't have any kind of protection. No security at all. I guess they give all those cabs to the guys who show up late. Like, maybe a couple of head wounds will teach them punctuality. I don't want to donate my organs. I've been thinking about it a lot lately. My husband did. But, people are like, donate organs once you're dead. People need them. Look, I'm dead. They didn't work, all right? I'm not going to give anybody my broken down organ. It's like, here, try this shit. It didn't work with me. A bun in the oven is really cute. But a baby in the oven, is really horrifying. Yeah, my dad, he was a cop for like 20 years, and he was always bragging. I was the only one. I got only shot one time in the arm. Well, according to my mom, she said, if I would have aimed better, it would have gotten him in the head, son of a bitch. I was lying in bed last night, and I got really scared. What if I died right now from very immensely, incredibly delayed crib death? If I was on a cruise ship and my son fell in, I'm going to jump in without hesitating. Even if I might die, I don't care. My son would live the rest of his life knowing his mommy died saving his life. And I'm good with that. But if my husband fell in, my son would live the rest of his life knowing that his daddy was not a strong swimmer. Man walks in a whorehouse looking for a little action. He goes up to the house owner. He says, hey, can I get a piece of one of those fine ladies you got in here? I'm sorry, sir, the owner says, but we're all full. Ah, come on, please. I really need some poontang. So the owner says, well, there is one girl left, but when you meet her, you got to wear this black condom. Whatever, the man says. He grabs it and races upstairs. A few hours later, he comes down. He goes, wow, that was great. She didn't even make any noise. Why do I have to wear this black condom? The owner says, well, it's respect for the dead.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, that was dark. Well, Braden likes dark. Ladies, I want you to know that erection problems in most cases are just misunderstandings. There's probably nothing wrong with the guy at all. He's just tired of you in particular, or he got some before he came back home. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, a dentist, an electrician, and a carpenter decided to play a practical joke on their best friend on his wedding night. So the carpenter goes, I'm going to loosen some joints on the bed so it collapses while he's making love. Ooh, I'll hot wire the mattress so they feel immense heat while they're making love, says the electrician. Those are good ideas, says the dentist, but my contribution is going to be a real surprise. Next day, the new husband comes to the diner to meet his friends. He says, I congratulate you guys for making the bed heat up and collapse, but I'm going to kill whichever one of you got the Novocaine and put it in the massage oil. And that's it. That's all I got.
Yay, why not?
Yay!
You have to stay in shape. My mother started walking 5 miles a day when she was 60. She's 97 now, and we have no idea where the hell she's at.
I love it.
1 out of every 3 Americans is suffering from some form of mental illness. Think of 2 of your best friends. If they are okay, then it must be you. And my last joke for the evening. Have you noticed that most of the women who are against abortion are women you wouldn't want to fuck in the first place?
Amen.
There's such balance in nature. And with that, I got a couple announcements. Of course, every Tuesday night here we do comedy. Every Wednesday night at 5 p.m. SO time we do comedy over at Lauren Live, which Catboy hosts. And then Thursday night, about 4,000 meters below us, we play Match Game, which is hosted by Catboy Hooligans. And y'all should come check it out. If y'all need a link to a group or friend request or whatnot, just hit me up. And with that, ding dong, the night is over. Thank you all for showing up.
Yay, thank you, everybody.
Perfect. Yay.
Right.
Well, I don't give a damn who liked your picture, and I don't give a shit who's screwing who. I don't really care what you had for lunch or how much you paid for your shoes. I got no time for all the gossip. I got no patience for the lies. I think I better take a few steps back before I stick a fork in someone's eye. Oh yeah, cause right now I just need a little space. Baby, baby, baby. Right now I just can't deal with this word. It's just a one of those days when I ever want. I'm coming to the end of my life, and I'm breaking down, losing my mind. It's one of those days when I ever want. So baby, baby, watch what you say. I'm going Charlie Manson if you come my way, motherfucker. I'm going Charlie, motherfucker. But I don't give a damn who won the Grammy, and I don't give a shit who won the fight. I don't really care which G-list celebrity you got drunk and blue last night. I got no time for all the gossip. I got no patience for the lies. I think I better take a few steps back before I stick a fork in someone's eye. Oh yeah, cause right now I just need a little space. Baby, baby, baby. Right now I just can't deal with this word. It's just a one of those days when I ever want. I'm coming to the end of my life, and I'm breaking down, losing my mind. It's one of those days when I ever want. So baby, baby, watch what you say. I'm going Charlie Manson if you come my way, motherfucker.